Welcome, this is Wrapped from mindofaraptor.com. Today we're going to be looking at the Over-the-Wire series that capture the flags and specifically the Natas challenges. The purpose of this video today is going to be to try and get from level 9 through to level 10 and show you how. For further information, feel free to check out mindofaraptor.com. All these instructions will be typed up and delivered there as well. So we're going to start off by logging into Natas level 9, and as you can see I'm already in there. I've already signed in Natas level 9. You can see up here the URL is Natas 9 as well. What we get on the page is we start with an input field, a search button, and the ability to view source code. So let's say we just type in the word test into the input field. It is then weirdly presenting us with a lot of words that have the word test within them, and probably even the word test itself. So what it's telling us is that it's looking up the word test against something. So if we look at the source code that we've just opened, we can see inside of the web page what it's doing is it's running what we just entered through a file called dictionary.txt, which is this file right here. Now it looks like a local file, and it must be a file that lists all the dictionary words, let's say. The first thing that you would normally do from a hacker's point of view is you'd start exploring this text box, this input field, and see if we can use characters that we would normally expect to be blocked. So examples of this would be your comma, maybe your slashes, maybe your wildcards, and interestingly, we've entered a wildcard there, the asterisk, and it's presented us with all of the what looks like potentially the HTML or PHP for that web page. It's slightly different though, because it's also giving us a index.php.tmpl, potentially a temporary page, but it's confirming that there's a dictionary.txt file, which is great. So we can see that we are not being validated, we're not having our input sanitized. Even in the URL we can still see that asterisk that we entered. So the question now is, what can we do with this information? Now it's looking up against the text file, so we know there's not an SQL database there, which means SQL injection is probably not going to be of any use to us. So maybe we can try and look at what's going on in the system, find out a bit of information about the operating system. So usually web servers are Linux based, so if we enter the ls command, it's just listing all of the answers inside of that text file by the look of things. But if we throw some parameters around it, maybe ls minus la, and what that does is it gives us this directory listing really. So it's showing us the hidden files and listing them within the directory that we're currently in. So the next challenge would be to see if we can go one directory above, maybe. So we do .. and then ls, and we get nothing. So maybe we can do / and then ls, and no, nothing. So at this point here I got a little bit stumped, and I referred to the Web Application Hackers Handbook, which is a really good book to learn some really good website application hacking skills from. And after a little bit of browsing, I realized that what we can do is we can type a command and we can pipe that command into another command. So we could, for example, do, it's lost the command, hasn't it? Actually, the command's up here. So what we could do is we could ls and then pipe it into a directory request and list the directory that we want to be querying. So at this point we've done list, and it forgets the list kind of, and then moves on to the next request, and it lists the directory, all contents of that directory that we specified, which is the / etc directory, which is a very common directory in a Linux operating system. And what we can see is on the page we're getting a full list of what's inside of that etc directory. So at this point we know we're on a Linux machine. We know that we can see the directory listings, and what we can do is we can stop browsing around and probing. And for example, if we just take let's say the apt directory, so it says apt but halfway down on the left hand side, I'll just highlight that. Now we are going to assume that is a directory, and what we can do is maybe try and list it. So let's do the ls, we're going to pipe it to dir, we're going to select ECT, and then we're going to put apt, and we're going to hit enter and see what happens. And yeah, we can see that we're now able to list the contents of that app directory. So the best solution now at this point is really just to browse through what's going on, have a look through the system, see what we can find. So we'll go back to the etc directory, dir, etc, and we're just going to list. Some really interesting things that you could look at in here are maybe what's going on in the Apache server. Maybe you could look at what's going on in the cron tab. Maybe even you could look at the passwd file and shadow file. It's not to say there's going to be much in there, but we could do that if we wanted. Another directory that would be really useful in a lot of scenarios is the www directory, which I believe is var www, and this is the directory that websites usually run from. And we can see inside of that directory we have a folder called Natas, and we could start exploring down that route. So you've got a lot of different places you can look at. I'll save a bit of time, and we'll just jump to where the password is for the next level. So we're going to go ls, we're going to pipe to dir, we're going to choose etc, and we're going to go natas underscore web pass, and we will see inside of here we've got a directory structure that kind of lists almost every level, if not every level, of the Natas website challenges. You could look for each one, but you probably won't find the passwords for many, and the one we're really interested in is Natas 10. Now, the one thing that's not clear about this is whether they're directories or files. So what we're going to do is we are going to treat them as both. We're going to say we'll check it as a file, we'll check it as a directory. So if we do the ls, pipe to dir, etc. Oops, we just missed out a space there. We're going to go natas underscore web pass, and then we're going to go natas 10 to see if there's anything in that directory. And we can see again there's a dictionary.txt file. That might imply that maybe on the next level there's another dictionary file that we have to look through. It could even be that we have to look inside that dictionary file. So what we could do now is we can ls pipe, we can do cat maybe, etc, natas underscore web pass / natas 10 / dictionary dot text, and we can see if it gives us any kind of feedback. And it does. It lists a full dictionary again, which is quite extensive, as you can see, and we can spend an eternity looking through this, but I don't think the password's going to be there. So this time we're going to try and treat that directory as a file. So we'll do ls and we'll pipe it into cat. So we're going to try and cat the file. We're going to go etc natas underscore web pass. Whoops, I got an extra p there. And it was natas 10. Okay, and if we hit return, you can see the full query here if I just move my cursor. So you got ls pipe cat, etc natas web pass / natas 10. Hit return, and what we get is we get the output of the dictionary file from the original ls command, but we also get a password here, which is a flag, and that flag there is the flag that we use to get into natas 10. So that shows you how you can explore a system, and it's a really fun level, this one, because you start dealing with the website in a different way and you start really exploiting things. If you want any further information, or if you just want the commands, let's say, already typed out, so you can copy and paste them in, have a look on the mindofaraptor.com website. And in addition to that, if you like the video, press that like button. That'd be great. If you like the channel, subscribe. Okay, thank you for your time today.